Hello there, friends. It's Jimmy Maverick. Welcome to another edition of the Fantasy Maverick Podcast. Hey, I am doing a live draft on Yahoo for my Standard Points League. This is a league I've been in for years. It's a very competitive league, and I think I turned out pretty good. Although I gotta say, I'm calling this draft the sniping draft because I got sniped on 3 key players that I was targeting. I couldn't believe it. It just kept happening during the course of the draft. Very frustrating, but I do like the lineup that I got. Got some nice guys on my bench as well, some good depth plays. So anyway, I want you to check it out. Here we go.
Listen up. It's time for the Fantasy Maverick Podcast, starring the guy who's going to help you win that fantasy championship, Jimmy Maverick.
Hello there, friends. It's Jimmy Maverick. Welcome to another edition of the Fantasy Maverick Podcast, and it is time for draft number 2. That's right. I got my second draft happening right now. This is actually a draft I've been a part of this draft for probably, I think, the past 5 or 6 years. It is my standard points draft, and I just found out I'm going to be picking from the 7th position. So what's happened to me this year is I've gotten no early picks. The earliest pick I have is pick number 4. But everyone else, I think I have a pick 6. This is pick 7. I got a bunch of 9s and 10s. I just got to live with it, right? I'm not going to be able to have Saquon Barkley or Zeke Elliott on any of my teams this year. That kind of bums me out, but, that's what it is. So I want to let you know, I've already got my little cheat sheet set up, right? I got set up for the guy right in front of me and the guy right behind me for what positions they're taking, as well as the total quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends taken. Actually, I'm sorry, that's a mistake. It's running backs and wide receivers I don't need to track. It is actually the defense and the kickers. That's really what I'm looking at there. And we've got 3.5 minutes to go. Now, because this is a standard points draft, I'm going to utilize my my strategy, my top 50 dominator strategy, but there's more flexibility for me because I can grab a top 50 value running back in the 4th round or even the 5th round. A little risky on the 5th round, but the 4th round is good. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get myself an elite wide receiver with either the 1st or 2nd pick, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'll grab running backs in the 3rd and 4th, and then wide receivers again in the 5th and 6th. That's kind of what I'm leaning on right now. All the features and utilize it in all your drafts, even the non-standard points drafts. It allows you to build a fully customized draft list in just a matter of minutes. And you can see it's going to give us lots of good information for the players that we are going to be taking. So in the 1st round, you can see that it's recommending Nick Chubb, Kenyon Drake, and Devontae Adams. Nick Chubb is a good choice, but see these little hands here? That means he's a reach. Kenyon Drake also a reach. These are guys that potentially could make it to me on my 2nd pick. It is a gamble because I believe my 2nd pick is pick number 18. Yes. And Chubb goes at 15. Drake goes at 17. So it is a little bit of a risk, but I'm not really super inclined to take a reach, a reach this early. So in the 1st round, right? Now you can see there's some long shots here. You got Zeke, Kamara, and Henry, and certainly if any of those guys made it to me, I'd absolutely take them. They do offer the best value. This is their value rank up here, and the most VORC points, and that's what I like to base my ratings off of is the VORC score, value, outlook, reliability, and consistency. It's these 4 columns right here. Based on how they do on these 4 key stats, they get points. Those points are added up. That's the VORC score. And I like to get players that score more than 40 VORC points. So you can see on the list, the only one that's not a reach and not a long shot is Josh Jacobs, who scores over 40 VORC points. His value rank is 10th, so he's a good choice. He's a fair value choice at this point in the draft. Also, if he makes it to us, which he may not, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, even though he only scores 35 VORC points here, he would be worth a shot as well. But again, I'm more inclined to take a rookie who was my 3rd running back as opposed to my 1st. We've already heard that CEH is going to be splitting time with Darrell Williams in week 1. That's not surprising. And so you need to account for that. So, Josh Jacobs, I think, is a great choice if, Henry, Kamara, or Zeke does not make it to us. And then we'll see what happens on the 2nd round. I mean, in the 2nd round, you can see that it's recommending Chris Carson, Kenny Golladay, Chris Godwin. I love the idea of getting someone like Golladay or Godwin with our second pick. Again, they are fair value. And the thing about standard points leagues is obviously wide receivers are a little bit thinner to come across. And, they're not as valuable. And in my league, actually, there are 3 wide receiver slots. So to get myself an elite wide receiver will certainly substantially help my situation. So I think that's probably going to be my strategy. I'll go running back, then I'll get a wide receiver, and then in the 3rd and 4th, I'll come back and I'll get running backs. And there's really lots of good running backs that we could get. If we look at the 3rd round, Chris Carson and Jonathan Taylor are both long shots. But you got David Johnson. There's Melvin Gordon and James Conner. Those guys don't score real well, even though they are top 50 players. David Johnson scores great, and he's a reach. And then in the 4th round, we get someone like Cam Akers. And of course, what's the name of my team? I named my team Green Acres. I think this is telling me that I need to take Akers in the 4th round. And then in the 5th and 6th, we'll grab ourselves some wide receivers. And, my typical top 50 draft strategy, we might have to go over that just a little bit because even somebody like Jarvis Landry is not valued in the top 50 in a standard points league. I think he's like 54 or something like that. That's close enough for me. That's good enough if we're going to go that route, which we are. And then we'll assess at the 7th round if we want to take a quarterback at that time or just keep building up the roster. Running backs, wide receivers, maybe even take our tight end. Look, the draft's already started. Look at that. Okay, so obviously, first 3 off the board, very much standard, McCaffrey, Barkley, and Elliott. And so what I'm going to do is to shorten this thing down. This first round we're going to go through here, but as soon as we're done with our pick, we're going to go look at the 2nd round, set up our players for the 2nd round, and then I'm going to pause until it gets back to us for that pick. So this video goes a little bit faster, so you don't need to see everything that's happening. So look at this. Okay, so Henry and Kamara. So all the long shots have come off. And Dalvin Cook, and now it's us. So again, we talked about taking Josh Jacobs, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire is still on the board. Let's just compare these two. So Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Josh Jacobs, again, very similar in their points. But again, I'm going to take the rookie Akers in the 4th round. I just can't see myself spending a 1st round pick on CEH, even though I like him a lot. Let's go for the highest rated player that's not a long shot in the 1st round, and we'll take Josh Jacobs. He's great value here, really. He's an excellent fair value play, and there we go. We'll go ahead and we'll take him, and we'll see who comes around on the next round. So if we look at the running backs, we can put Chubb and Drake and Mixon. I mean, there's lots of good options here. So let's go and there's Mixon, there's Drake. I think Chubb already went. Let's see here. Yeah, Chubb did go. But let's look at the 2nd round. So in the 2nd round, we were looking at Chris Carson, Todd Gurley, Austin Eckler. Well, these are all running backs, but let's get them all. Chris Carson, Todd Gurley, Austin Eckler. There's Austin Eckler, Chris Carson, Todd Gurley. And but we were looking at wide receivers, and in the wide receivers, Kenny Golladay is the highest rated player. Great value here. So Golladay would be a good choice for us, but Golladay and Godwin both score over 40 VORC points, so let's get them on the queue. And you will see that I use the queue extensively, and especially in my area where I have intermittent internet outages, real important to utilize the queue so you don't get stuck with the Yahoo auto pick, which would just totally stink. But you can see there's some other options here. We'll see how many of them make it to us. I mean, getting someone like Julio or Devontae Adams, which would they never make it that far? But it's just a thought. So we're almost back to our pick. Well, let's kind of take a look at what's going on here. So after our pick, then Nick Chubb came off, Tyreek Hill, then Joe Mixon and Clyde Edwards-Helaire came off 11th. That's actually very late for Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Michael Thomas came off to close out the 1st round. Kenyon Drake came off, then Devontae Adams. And we are only 3 picks away from us right now, so let's just keep rolling and see what happens. You can see our queue is nice and fat right now. Both Godwin and Galladay are on the draft board, and I think both are outstanding choices. But I would be sure excited if like Julio makes it to us. Julio would be a great choice. If we look at the app, actually, let's see here. If we restore Julio, he's better value, right? And certainly at 45 work points, he's a great choice if he made it. And so that's where we're at, and that's how you work it. So, but we will get ourselves 6 top 50 value players here. It's going to be an outstandingly strong team. I just did a draft yesterday, utilized the strategy. It was a PPR league. But basically, in the end, I compared my projected points for week 1 versus every other team. I was 3rd. And one of the teams was the guy that got CMC, so that's not surprising. And the other team was a guy that I swear was using my strategy because he picked a bunch of the same players that I picked. So, you got to take that for what it is. Aaron Jones just came off, so this is actually looking good. 2 picks to us. And I'm just going to go ahead and get... Julio's right at the top of the list. I'm guessing he is not going to make it to us. But I'd be super happy with either Godwin or Galladay on this offense. So on their various offenses. So we'll see what happens here. Let me go back. Look at the draft results. And people are racking their brains right now. Oh, so let's take a look at who. So Kittles and Bits, the guy right before me. Okay, so he took a running back. And then Zeke and Destroy, he took a running back as well. Okay, so we're going to track that because that's going to become important as we're trying to decide players for later. Oh, look at this. Okay, Julio's still on the board. Julio would be my top choice if we can get him on this round. So I know that both Godwin and Galladay are higher rated, but to get the volume of Julio Jones, look at that. Okay, so he did make it to us. So that's very good news. So we can go ahead and select Julio. So again, Julio, his outlook doesn't score real well because there's not a lot of upside because of his age. He's 31 this year. But value overall, 19th overall, so he's very, very fair valued for where we're taking him. High reliability, 10 out of 10 consistency, is going to be a high-powered offense. It's going to score a lot of points. He's going to have a lot of opportunities. Let's take Julio. I love that pick. That is awesome. And so now we're going to go back and we're going to get ourselves 2 more running backs. So let's go to the 3rd round and let's look at what running backs are available in the 3rd round. So, of course, Carson and Jonathan Taylor are both long shots. And again, rookies, let's take Akers in the 4th because Taylor would be our 2nd running back. That's very risky for me. But you got David Johnson. He doesn't score 40, but he scores 39 work points here. He's a good choice as well. So Carson and David Johnson. I believe we already got Carson up there. Yeah, so let's go to the players, and we're going to go to the running backs. And let's see. Well, there's Taylor. There's David Johnson. Okay. And anybody else that we want to look at? See, now Gordon does offer top 50 value, as does James Conner, but they don't score well on my Borg score. Conner, low reliability player. I don't like that. For Gordon, he's got a number of negatives going against him, switching teams, the big contract hangover. For me, he's just not a desirable player, especially in the 3rd round, man. I mean, that's crazy. In the draft I did yesterday, someone took Gordon in the 5th. That's a different issue. I think he's a much better choice for something like as a 5th round pick. Plus, I like Phillip Lindsay more, but that's neither here nor there. So, all right, so it looks like Chris Carson did come off. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to pause because we've got a gap here until my next pick. I'll come back when I'm within 3. We'll see where we're at, and we'll see who we're going to take. All right, we got interesting things happening here. It's almost back to me now, but since our pick, it was George Kittle, then Austin Eckler, Chris Carson, then Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, then Chris Godwin, Travis Kelce started the 3rd round, Jonathan Taylor, Odell Beckham, James Conner, Adam Thielen, Todd Gurley, but look who's still on the board, Miles Sanders. Now, he is currently injured, and that is a concern. It's a hamstring injury. Oh, boy, man. But the value here, I got to restore him. I got to restore him for the third round. Sanders, where is he? Okay, Sanders scores 53 Vork points even with the injury score. And his value rank is 14th overall. Oh, man, that is a tough call. Now, you can see that Gurley was taken, so Johnson is still available. If we look at running backs here, Sanders, Gordon, Ingram, Mostert, David Johnson. Oh, man, I mean, I usually don't draft injured players. That's the thing. That's like one of my mantras. But I think I've got to take this. I mean, this is such a gift as the third round player. And, oh, man. Because his value is outstanding. And you know what? I'll get Boston Scott later to cover this. I gotta take it. I can't pass up Miles Sanders in the third round. I can't pass that up. He rates better than David Johnson does at this point in the draft. And who knows, maybe David Johnson will make it back to us for our fourth pick. We'll have to see what happens. But my fourth target is Mr. Cam Akers. David Johnson scores very well in the fourth round as well. Le'Veon Bell does score over 40. I'm not super enthused about him, but let's put Akers, Johnson, and Bell on the queue, and we'll get them set. So there's Bell. Oh, it looks like someone just took David Johnson. There's Cam Akers. Okay, so I think we're in good shape. Who else is on the list here? If we look at fifth round running backs, who do we have in fifth round? So Kareem Hunt does not qualify. His value ranks 71. Mostert is top 50, but he doesn't score well in the fifth round. So in the fourth round, he's kind of a no-go for me. You also have Antonio Gibson here. He is outside the top 50, so he's off my radar for right now. So we can look at that. And let's also look at the wide receivers for the fourth round, because there are some good fourth-round wide receivers, including, who do we got here? We got Calvin Ridley, Cortland Sutton, DK Metcalf, DJ Chark. Let's get some of these guys on the queue. So I'm going to go to wide receivers, and we're going to go and get, where's Ridley? Why am I not seeing him? Was he already taken? No, he's still there. Okay, Ridley. Who else do we have? We have Ridley, Sutton, Metcalf, Chark. So Sutton, Metcalf, Chark. Cooper Kupp scores over 40 as well. Let's put Kupp on there. And also, just because he's so out of place here, Robert Woods way down there at pick number 61 absolutely needs to be on our radar, because Woods scores very well. Woods is, where are you, Woods? Right there, 35th. His value rank is 35th, so he's an outstanding choice, as is Kupp. Kupp's also an astounding choice, but the big difference is Kupp is a lot more inconsistent than Woods is, so Woods has kind of been like my choice. I'm going to just close this. We can also, let's see here. I think that's all we need to look at for right now as far as all of our players. So you can see Bell and Akers, Ridley, Sutton, Metcalf. We got a nice big long list of players here. So and we're almost back to our pick. This went very quickly. So let's review what's going on since our last pick. So since we took Sanders, then Russell Wilson comes off. So that's our third quarterback has come off. Then David Johnson, Mike Evans, Allen Robinson, Melvin Gordon, Mark Ingram, then DJ Moore. So it's just 3 picks back to us right now. We do have 2 tight ends. I got to say, this guy that got Kelsey in the third, that's like brilliant. I love that. Kelsey is the only tight end in standard points that ranks top 50. Kittle doesn't. Kittle is outside the top 50. I think he's like at 61 or something like that. So anyway, but that's a great trifecta. I got to say, I'm very impressed with the guy that's picking first right now. He's doing really good. So it looks like Mostert just came off. I think we got a good chance to get our Akers. So I'm super happy about that. Akers, if we look here, Akers value 31st overall. We're at pick 42, so that's a nice value chunk there. I got him rated as a breakout. And again, getting a rookie. It's to us now. So getting our oh no, did someone take Akers? Oh, someone sniped him from me. Oh man, that That makes me mad. Okay, well, hold on. Let's just assess who's still on the board for running backs. So we got Bell, Swift, Hunt. Okay, so I think Bell is the last player that offers top 50 value for our team. And that really bumps me out. 46th overall. So he's fair value here. Not quite the coup that I thought I was going to get. That really, oh man. And I'm just not enthused about Le'Veon Bell. What about one of the other guys? What about is Melvin Gordon? Is Melvin Gordon still on the board? I think he's gone. Yeah, he is gone. Okay. None of these other guys rank top 50. That's the problem. And shoot. And so my namesake, my team name is thwarted in the 4th round. I got to make a decision here. I could go with one of my wide receivers, but you know what? I really need to get my 3rd. Bell is the best back on the board right now for value. I'm going to reluctantly take him as my 3rd. And getting him in the 4th round, it's not bad. It's good value, but I'm not happy about it. So, such is the nature. Oh, well. So, let's go to the 5th round. Let's see what we got going on in the 5th round. So, 5th round, top 50 value players really dry up. Oh, so I think Mostert's already gone, right? He was already gone. Yeah, he was already taken. Again, you look at the guys that are available. Kareem Hunt, 71st overall. Gibson at 55th is pretty good. Swift at 79, that's not very good. If we look at the wide receivers for the 5th round, you got Cortland Sutton, DK Metcalf, both as long shots to make it to us. It'd be great if one of them did. You got Keenan Allen at 64, Diggs at 66, Devontae Parker at 65. You got T.Y. Hilton at 56, so he's outside the top 50. But we could certainly put him on the queue. Let's get him on there. Let's go ahead and do that. So wide receivers. We will go ahead and get where are you, T.Y. Hilton? There you are. I see you. T.Y. Hilton. And in the 6th round, are there any? I think they all might be outside. So you got Gallup at 62. See, Landry's at 54. Landry's usually, in half PPR and better, he's top 50. But we can get Landry on the queue as well. So, again, Landry is a great guy. And what I like to say is, even if you miss on the top 50, if you get a player with a 54th ranked value, you're still in great shape. So, don't even worry about it. I'm just going to pause now until we get closer to my next pick, and we'll see where we're at. Okay, so we're 3 picks away. So here's what happened. Since my pick, Juju Smith-Schuster, Zach Ertz, Dak Prescott, Terry McLaurin, A.J. Brown, Leonard Fournette. Then 5th round, we got Marlon Mack, Calvin Ridley, DK Metcalf just came off. We are 3 picks away from me, but we still have a lot of great receivers on the board. So I'm super happy to see who I might be able to get. Chark, I love Ridley, Metcalf, Chark in the 5th. Cooper, these guys in the 5th is outstanding. That's such a deal. But my choice, if he makes it to me here, there's only one more pick to go. Woods, I restored all these receivers onto my 5th round pick. Woods offers 35th most valuable player. And we are at pick number 55. So, yes. Okay, so he made it to us. That's fantastic. So, let's go ahead. This is an easy pick for me. Although I like Sutton and I like Kupp too. Kupp has a little bit better value, but more inconsistent in his usage. So, let's go ahead. We'll take Woods. And then I think we've got a really good chance to grab Landry with our final pick. And he's 54th overall, but who knows? Maybe one of these guys will make it to us. Let's look at everyone else in the 6th round here and see if anyone really jumps out at us. We've got, Michael Gallup. You know what? I'm going to put Gallup on the queue because I think he's a great player, and we'll see if he makes it to us on a later round. Gallup. Who else is over 50? We got Matt Ryan if we wanted to take a quarterback. Devin Singletary, David Montgomery. So Devin Singletary, David Montgomery. Let's get them on the queue. Devin Singletary, David Montgomery. Let's see here. Who else is here? So we got guys that are under the 40 mark. Tyler Boyd, Hayden Hurst, the tight end. Let's get Hayden Hurst on the queue. Tight end. Hayden Hurst is way down here. We don't have to worry about him going yet. Oh, look, Darren Waller's there. Okay. Oh, boy. Darren Waller, how does he score here? Let's look for Waller. Let's restore him. Where are you, Waller? Waller only scores 27 work points here. Value rank is 90th. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Tight ends are such low volume, and this is standard points. They are really, they're not great, But look, none of our wide receivers have been taken yet. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to pause. We'll come back when we're within 3. We'll see where we're at, and we'll see who we can get. All right, I'm kind of bummed out because Waller got taken, so that's too bad for that. But we still got basically all of our wide receivers up here, and these guys do offer top 50 value. Like if Sutton makes it back to us, that would be outstanding. So since our pick, since Robert Woods, it was J.K. Dobbins, then Marquise Brown, Keenan Allen, Cooper Kupp, then Kyler Murray, the quarterback, was taken. So that's the 5th quarterback. Darren Waller, the 5th tight end, was taken. DeAndre Swift just came off. And again, Swift in Detroit, both Swift and Kerryon Johnson's value took a hit. Oh, bummer. Cortland Sutton did get taken. But anyway, both of them took a hit when Adrian Peterson signed on that team. So again, much less desirable. Oh, and look at that. Someone snaked Jarvis Landry from me right before my pick. So I think I might have to go with Hilton here. So in the 6th round, I've got to restore him. Oh, wait, no. Is he on here already? Where's Hilton? T.Y. Hilton. Oh, he's 56th in value. Okay, well, let's see here. Montgomery is still available. Boy, wide receivers. We got Landry. He's gone. T.Y. Hilton. You know what? I'm going to go with Gallup as my 3rd. His value is 60th, which is a little bit of a hit. But T.Y. Hilton, I just don't trust, I just think that Gallup's going to be a better choice. So let's go ahead and we'll take Gallup with our 6th pick. So we didn't end up with the 6 top 50 value players, but I think we did very good in our first 5 picks. I mean, I love that I got Woods as my 2nd. Gallup as my 3rd is solid because it's that 3rd wide receiver slot is always such a problem for me. And I think Gallup's going to be fantastic this year. As I said, he's the 60th most valuable player. We're at pick 66, so we got a little bit overvalued. A little bit undervalued, relative to our draft position. So that's very good. So let's look at the 7th round. And if we look at the 7th round here, Matt Ryan's a long shot. And if he made it to us, that would be a nice stack, given that we have Julio Jones. I would love that. Okay, now look, another quarterback just came off the board. But Matt Ryan, I don't have him on the queue. Let me get him on the queue. Jeez, what's going on there? Let's go to quarterbacks. Matt Ryan, of course, he's right at the top of the list. We'll see if he makes it all the way out to me. If he doesn't, it's fine. We've got lots of great quarterbacks we can choose from. But let's look at 7th round players. See, here's Tom Brady. Tom Brady's also a good, well, he doesn't score over 40 work points. That's the issue. He doesn't score over 40. The 7th is kind of a weak round for players in general. They don't score very well at all. And what I like to say is if you don't like any of the players in that round, just go to the next round and you'll find better ones. But I mean, Brady and Hurst, I believe I already have Hurst on the queue. Let's get Brady queued up as well. And let's go quarterbacks. Where's Brady? There's Brady right there. So we're all set up. We also got a couple of running backs here, Singletary and Montgomery. Where are they? Because I think they score pretty well. Oh, look at that. They are top 50. Holy cow. We still might be able to do this. If Singletary or Montgomery makes it back to us. Of course, again, Montgomery's injured. I've already got an injured player. I've already got Sanders. I don't want to cripple myself with that. Man, that's tough. I don't think I could take a second injured player. I'm already taking a chance on Sanders here. And I know I'm going to have to take Boston Scott, so it's like he just kind of took up 2 draft slots. That's okay because I like Boston Scott a lot. I've been drafting him in a lot of my drafts as well. But we still got a ways to go before it gets back to us. Let me pause. I'll come back when we're within 3. We'll see where we're at. All right, so it's almost back to us. And so here's what happened. Since my pick, since I took Gallup and got sniped on Landry, It was Diggs, Deshaun Watson, T.Y. Hilton, Ronald Jones, Tyler Boyd, Brandon Cooks, Kareem Hunt, Tyler Higbee, Jordan Howard, Devontae Parker, Antonio Gibson, one more to me, and Matt Ryan is still available. So if Matt Ryan makes it to me, I'm going to take him because that gets me the stack with Julio Jones, and that is just a cherry on top. So I love that. Obviously, we still have Singletary and Montgomery on the board, which is they are very tempting as top 50 players. Oh boy, man, this could still get me my top 50 dominator strategy to get myself another top 50 running back. And obviously everybody's down on Singletary right now because of all the buzz around Moss. But Singletary still rates very, very well, and he's going to get a lot of work. Although everyone's saying that Moss has taken over the Gore role on that offense. We also have Hayden Hurst on the board. Okay, so Matt Ryan did make it to us, and we can just hope that Hurst would make it back to us on the turn. It is kind of a long gap between picks, so it is a risk, but there are still a ton of tight ends available. If we look at the tight ends, there's still 3 more tight ends before it even gets to Hurst, so I'm comfortable with the idea of waiting on him and maybe getting him on the next round. That would give me 3. And that would get me 3 players from the same team, which is very risky. This is tough. And, Montgomery is injured, so I don't want to take him just because I don't want another injured player. But if we let's restore Singletary onto this round. He's right there. Okay, 49th value overall. Shoot, man, I think I got to take that. I think I got to take Singletary here just to get the value. And, 20 seconds. I'm going to pass on the quarterback. I'm going to pass on him right now. I'm going to hope to get Hurst on the turn. Let's grab one more top 50 player. So there you go. I grabbed the top 50 player in the 7th round, and that is very, very solid. That's very good. And then Michael Gallup is 60th overall. This is a very strong. Okay, look, here's why I have the queue set up, man. This is exactly the reason why. I'll be right back. All right, so I set up my hotspot. I got myself hooked up. Matt Ryan was taken right after me. So right after I took Singletary, then Lindsey comes off, Matt Ryan, Matt Breida, Josh Allen, then Will Fuller closed out the 7th round, then A.J. Green and Jared Cook just came off. So another tight end. I think we're in real good shape to get Hayden Hurst this round, which I very much like as an 8th round play. So if we're in the 8th round and we restore him, how does he score? Because he should have already been gone by now. Let's see here. Hurst, where are you? 34 points. All right. So anyway, and it's our score. Look at this. Oh, there was a run. There was a run on tight ends, but Hurst was not taken with one of them. Let's get our tight end so we don't have to worry about this. And, I was looking at quarterbacks also, and quarterbacks we're still doing fine on. What I like to say is if you are within 3, if less than 3 quarterbacks are in front of the quarterback you want, you need to take that quarterback. And so I'm going to target Tom Brady. And we're still in good shape. We got 4 quarterbacks in front of him. So I think we're fine. We will go ahead and wait for him. And I think he is going to be a fantastic choice this year for fantasy football. So let's go to the 9th round and let's find some players. So in the 9th round, it's recommending Sterling Shepard. It's recommending Ronald Jones, who was already taken. Daniel Jones, the quarterback, who's a quarterback I like if Tom Brady happens to get taken. But Shepard is certainly a great choice. Let's see here. Shepard. John Brown scores over 44 points. So let's get Shepard and Brown on the queue. Wide receivers. Shepard and Brown. And what I was looking at also, I was looking a little bit ahead. When do I need to take Boston Scott? Because I absolutely need to get him. I got him set as a 10th round player. So he will be our 10th round pick, and that'll be our insurance for Miles Sanders. And that'll make me super comfortable as to where we're at and to who we're going to get. And so quarterbacks, let's look at quarterbacks. We've got, I'm going to put Daniel Jones on there as well. And this is a league that tends to go slower on quarterbacks, so we don't need to necessarily take Tom Brady with our next pick. We could possibly wait. There's already a bunch of people that already have their quarterbacks, so we're in good shape. Now let's look at the teams both in front of and behind us. So Kittles and Bits, right now they only have 2 running backs. That's all they've taken. They got 2 tight ends. That's kind of stupid. I think that's a waste of a pick. They've got 4 wide receivers, no quarterback. Okay, so they're coming back to us, so they're getting in a position where they're going to want to get their quarterback. Now, the guy on the other side, Zeke and Destroy, he already has his quarterback. And he has he's got 3 running backs now. And for wide receivers, he's got 3 wide receivers, and he's got his tight end. He took Gronk. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong team. He took Mark Andrews. And Galladay, Landry, Deebo Samuel. Yeah, okay, so he's got 3, 1 tight end, 1 quarterback. I'm feeling really good about this draft right now. I really like our wide receivers that we have. And look, we've already started to fill out our bench. So Singletary as our 4th running back is awesome. I'm so happy we got him. That's a great depth play. So I think we are in really good shape there. And no quarterbacks are coming off right now. There is a run on tight ends. We just had, we've got, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so 10 tight ends have now come off the board. So basically every team has their tight end. And we are still at 8 quarterbacks. No quarterbacks have been taken this round. I'm going to pause till we're within 3 of our next pick. We'll see where we're at. All right, so here's what happened. Since my pick, and now it's back to me. All right, since Hayden Hurst, it was Henry, Montgomery, Madison, Marvin Jones, Latavius Murray, the San Francisco defense, Joe Burrow for some reason, Deontay Johnson, Julian Edelman, Baltimore, Tom Brady, CeeDee Lamb. So he took my Brady. He took him. That is unacceptable. So anyway, I am not going to worry about my quarterback situation right now because there's still some good guys on the board. You could see I've got a bunch of guys queued up. I really need a 4th wide receiver right now, and Sterling Shepard rates very, very well in my app and for value. He's like 77th overall, most valuable player. So let's take him because everybody after me, only one other player has not taken his quarterback yet. And so let's just go ahead and wait. You know, again, Daniel Jones is still on the board, as is Matthew Stafford, who's a guy that I also like. So let's continue to bolster this team, get ourselves our 4th wide receiver, who I think is a rock solid choice. And let me go back to the quarterbacks here because I'm just kind of mad at myself, but he went way out of order. And the guy that took Joe Burrow, I'm like, wow, that's awesome because that pushes everybody way farther down. But Stafford's also a great choice here. I really like Stafford for what his potential is, and he has a better schedule than Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones has a really tough schedule to start the season. So, you know, it's one of those things where, if we restore Stafford for the 10th round. Let's go to the 10th round. And let's say we want Stafford. Stafford scores 50 VORC points. So he's a great choice at that point in the draft. Daniel Jones also scores very well. So they're both good. Boston Scott, though, oh boy, man, that's a guy that I need to get. And this is what it's telling me. I need to get Boston Scott. Let me get him on the queue. Running backs. Boston Scott, there he is. Now, he's at 169, so I might be able to wait on him. It's just that my app is telling me that he is typically going at around 126, which is where we're at. And let's see. So I got a bunch of guys still queued up. Crowder, John Brown, Daniel Jones, Preston Williams, who I really, really like, Kerryon Johnson, Matthew Stafford, Boston Scott. We've got tons of options here. And if we look at what's happening down here. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pause so we're within 3 of our next pick, and then we'll see where we're at. I don't know if we've gotten into auto picks here or what's going on, but we've had 2 kickers in a row just taken off, as well as 2 defenses. That's usually what the algorithm does, so that's kind of shocking, but it's only 3 picks to us. So since our pick of Sterling Shepard, it was Austin Hooper, Emmanuel Sanders, Jamison Crowder, then the Pittsburgh defense, the Chicago defense, Justin Tucker the kicker, Harrison Butker the kicker, and we still got tons of guys on the board. But I think, like I said, I'm going to be safe. I'm going to take my I am going to go ahead and take my handcuff to Miles Sanders. It's super important if Miles Sanders is not ready to go. Drew Brees just came off. Oh, boy. Man, I'm really pushing it on the quarterback thing, too. Yikes. I think I might have to get Stafford. I might have to take him. Although now, I think every team has at least 1 quarterback, and this guy has 2. I don't know why he would take both Deshaun Watson and Tom Brady. It seems like just a waste of a pick. But let's hear. Yes. Kittles and Bits has not taken their quarterback either. I think I got to take a quarterback here just to be safe, and because he is like the last team that has not taken their quarterback yet. So there's Russell Wilson and Matt Ryan and Drew Brees and Josh Allen and Kyler Murray. So all these guys, every team has a quarterback right now except for me and the guy right after me. So again, that's one of those strategic things that you have to think about when you're doing these drafts is what are their needs and do you have the same needs? If you do, then you need to take that person before they can. So that's kind of what we're thinking about here. So, oh my God, he sniped me. I can't believe he did that. Oh man, this is a frustrating draft for me. This is very frustrating. Kerryon Johnson. Ugh. Now it's our pick. Okay. Well, I can't believe I got sniped on Boston Scott, and I even had him go to take him early. That guy, he makes me mad. That will be revenge. So I took my quarterback, and oh man. All right, so let's see where we're at for the 11th round. Let's go and look at 11th round players. So 11th round, recommending Alan Lazard, Jonnu Smith, the Buffalo Bills defense. If that makes it back to us, I would be interested in taking that. But Lazard's a good choice. Let's look at the running backs for that round. And again, running backs are going to be limited. See, Boston Scott, man, I just can't believe that I missed that. I could take Chase Edmonds. That might be worth a pick, even though he's not great on the value. But let's put Edmonds on the queue. Let's see here. What do we got? Running backs. There's Edmonds. Who else could I put on here? Darrell Williams, I think, is a good choice. He's the backup to CEH. Yeah, not a lot of great running backs here. Let's see here. James White might be an interesting pick. I bet he doesn't make it back to us. Let's look at the wide receivers. Oh, look, Christian Kirk is still on the board. He's worth a look. Preston Williams. There's Lazard. There's Robbie Anderson. That's another guy I want. Now, we've already got 4 wide receivers, so I really only want 1 more for this team, and then I want the rest to be running backs. So we really need to go and just get ourselves some running backs. So, Darrell Henderson might be worth it. Let's see here. See, none of these guys are particularly great. I mean, you got Sony Michel and Damian Harris. I think, Damian might already be gone. Let's see. And there was, what's that guy's name? Okay, I'm just going to pause so we get within 3 of our next pick. All right, so it's almost back to us. So let's see what happened since our pick. So we took Matthew Stafford, and after him, Ruggs, Coleman, Damian Harris, Noah Fant, Blake Jarwin, Cam Newton, then Carson Wentz. This guy has taken 3 quarterbacks. Why? Why would you do that? Christian Kirk, Sony Michel, Sammy Watkins, John Brown. So there was a couple of guys that I had queued up. I don't need another quarterback, so I'm going to take Jones off. I think this is the time to, let's see here. This would be the time to, well, actually, we've got a couple of good, we still got tons of good wide receivers. Let's get some running backs. So if we look at running backs right now, James White is still on the board. I think that's a great choice at this point in the draft. I think that's good. Right now, yeah, let's take that. I mean, let's go ahead and take that. I mean, that's a decent running back and a good value here. I mean, to get him this late in the draft. So I'm good with that. So you can see I've got Preston Williams, Chase Edmonds, Darrell Williams back up to CEH. We got Lazard. We got Robbie Anderson, Darrell Henderson. This is James Robinson, who's a guy in Jacksonville who I think could be a super surprise, as is Jerick McKinnon. Both these guys, look at how they have them rated in this app. But I like both these guys for their potential sleeperness, which I think would be very good. And then as far as defenses go, I usually wait till the very end to take my defense. What's going on here? Defenses. Buffalo's still on the board. That's interesting. I really like Buffalo. If I don't get Buffalo, I go for Philly at the end. But you can see here, has it switched? Something's going on my app. Let's reload it. I'm going to close it. All right, I'll be right back. All right, so it's almost back to us. So since our pick of James White, here's who's come off. Mike Williams, Justin Jefferson, Duke Johnson, Ben Roethlisberger, Daniel Jones, Darius Slayton, Mike Gesicki, TJ Hawkinson, and then the Minnesota defense just came off. Aaron Rodgers just came off, and now it is back to us. So we can take an elite defense here in the 12th round. And the reason why I want to do that is because there's all these late round guys, which I have queued up, which I think I can get pretty easy. So why not? Buffalo's got a great early season schedule. Let's just go for that. Get ourselves a really strong defense, and with great matchups for the first 3 weeks. And then I usually just stream. But, last year I streamed and I ended up with Buffalo, and I just rode with them the rest of the season because they were a rock-solid defense to have every week. But still, so many excellent choices on the draft board here as we are heading into the 13th round. And we only have 4 rounds left. So we've got all of our wide receivers. I've got... Oh, wait, no, I think I only have 4 wide receivers. So I need 1 more wide receiver, and I want 2 more running backs. I'd love to get Preston Williams, although I'm wondering if he will make it back to us because he should be pretty high on the board. Yeah, see, there he is right there. He might make it back to us. I'd love to get Preston. But if we miss on him, Robbie Anderson is a great choice, and both these guys offer top 100 value. Let's see here for running backs. Again, this is James Robinson. There's a report that came out today that he is the reason why they released Leonard Fournette. He's the reason. He's the guy you want in Jacksonville. This is the guy that's going to do it. And so why not take a chance on him? And then Jerick McKinnon is another high upside guy that I really like because of his pass catching prowess, which isn't as important in a standard points league, but he's going to have a substantial role in that backfield. So, he might be a good choice. We could take someone like Edmonds or Darrell Williams, who I think also would be an outstanding choice. Shoot. That's also a really, really good one. So we got a bunch of options here. It's a ways to go to our next pick, though, so I will come back when we're within 3. All right, so here's what happened. After I took Buffalo, then Tariq Cohen, McCole Hardman, Chris Herndon, Darrell Henderson, Preston Williams, who was one of my favorites, Deshaun Jackson, Anthony Miller, Kenny Stills, Alan Lazard, another one of my favorites. Will Lutz just came off the board, the kicker. It's 2 picks to us. I would like to grab Darrell Williams on this next one, as he is Clyde Edwards-Hilaire's backup. I think he is a great candidate. I'm week 1. They're saying he's a flex option because he's going to be splitting time with CEH. And he was very effective last year when he was playing. He was averaging like 15 fantasy points a game in the games that he started because they had all those injuries last year. So I think he is an excellent, excellent backup choice for a running back on this team. So I think that's great. And we will just wait to see what happens. The guy that took McCole Hardman, I don't know what happened with the guy that picked first. It's like he went off the rails. It's like he drafted really, really well. I mean, some question, like Fournette, I don't like. Mack, I don't think is a great choice. Cooks is a decent choice. Hunt's a good choice. San Francisco taking an 8. That's early, but it is the number 1 defense, and they've got a great schedule to start the season. But then he goes Burrow, Newton, Wentz. I don't understand what even happened here. Like maybe he only had quarterbacks queued up and he stepped away from his computer or something. I don't get that at all. And then Deshaun Jackson, Anthony Miller. I'm not really interested in either of those players. But whatever floats your boat. But there's no reason to roster 3 quarterbacks. I mean, that's crazy. Okay, so New Orleans defense came off. Then Jimmy Garoppolo, quarterback, came off. Now it's back to us. Let's go ahead. And the other guy I like is Robbie Anderson. And if we look at where Robbie Anderson is on the list, he's super buried. Okay, yeah, we will definitely take Williams now. And who knows, we might be able to trade with the guy that took CEH to get a player off of their team. And I like the idea of getting Robbie Anderson with our next pick in the 14th round. Robbie Anderson offers flex value. So, to get a flex value player in the 14th round is outstanding. And you got to take advantage of that when you can get it. So hopefully he doesn't get sniped. Although looking at this draft, man, I'm getting sniped left and right. 3 times I've been sniped on players that I really wanted. And the one that hurts is Boston Scott. That one right there. 2 before my pick. Oh, I can't believe it. So, anyway, there's someone that took Bryan Edwards. I love Bryan Edwards. Upside of that player this year. He is a great choice. 13th round, that's perfect. Of all the rookie wide receivers, this is the guy I want the most, but I don't really need to get him in most cases because I'm usually set up with a very strong receiver core off the app. And you can see right now, I mean, I got Julio, Woods, and Gallup, and then I have Sterling Shepard as a backup. Sterling Shepard has been killing it in camp, getting really positive reviews. I really like his upside this year. And he's got a great connection with Daniel Jones. So great 4th wide receiver. Let's see here. I will just, we're almost back to my pick, although it's been going pretty slow. I'm just going to pause till we're we're almost within 3. So let's just write it out. So let's see here. So after we went, then it was N'Keal Harry, Bryan Edwards, Jamal Williams, Adrian Peterson, who's now in Detroit. Golden Tate, who's a great choice also. I mean, if you can't get Shepard, Tate's a great second choice. He offers really good value at where he is. He just doesn't offer any upside for me because he's an older receiver. Dallas Goedert, tight end. Curtis Samuel comes off. And here's the thing, man. Samuel has not been doing good in camp. He has not been getting good reports. He usually just kills it in camp. That was always his thing, is he'd have these outstanding camps, and then during the season he'd be like totally ordinary. Who knows? Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe he'll be amazing this year on the team, but with a new coach and a new quarterback, I'm guessing he's not meshing real well with them. So that's an issue. And whereas Robbie Anderson, the reason I like Robbie Anderson is, anybody that gets free of Adam Gase's clutches, I love. And you look at what happened last year with Kenyon Drake and Ryan Tannehill and Parker, the receiver on Miami. Great stuff. They did great things. I think Robbie Anderson can do that. And it's back to us. Perfect. We'll take Robbie Anderson. And then we're going to take ourselves one more running back. I got 3 lined up here. Edmonds, Robinson, and McKinnon. I think I'm going to take a flyer on Robinson here. Nobody's really talking about this guy. Everybody, Raquel Armstead and Divine, I can't even think of his last name. It's I don't want to destroy his last name, but those are who people are drafting. But again, the coach said that the reason they got rid of Fournette is because of Robinson. So I got to get him. So what we're going to do, we're going to pause, and I'll come back when it's my pick, and we'll grab that guy. All right, so I just skipped the last round because I took my kicker. I took Zane Gonzalez of the Arizona Cardinals, and what I like to say with kickers, get a kicker that plays in a dome with a good offense. I think Arizona qualifies this year. So I'm excited to have him on my team, and we're waiting for my last pick here, and I'm going to take James Robinson as my last round flyer. Again, if this guy is the reason why they got rid of Leonard Fournette, that means they want him to take over that role, which means massive, massive opportunity. And I got him. So there you go. So this team looks great. So let me go over, because on my website, I'm going to show you why I like this team so much. And here's the team. Now, the first thing I want to show you is let's look at the value rank. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players with top 50 value. And I got 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 10 players with top 100 value. So that is outstanding. That doesn't even include it does include my quarterback, Matthew Stafford. Okay, that's fine. Now, of the players, this is a good group because there's not a lot of negatives. The only negative is Miles Sanders and the injury issue, right? So that is a risky play. And then Robbie Anderson got a new contract when he went over to Carolina. Those are the only negative notes on any players. I've got Robert Woods, Matthew Stafford, and Robbie Anderson all tagged as bounce back players. I got contract players. I got Michael Gallup and Darrell Williams as contract players. I got Hayden Hurst and James Robinson as breakouts. For Outlook, I've got all 5s, 4s, 3s. I do have some 2s here. These are all guys I'm taking a chance on, right? Julio Jones, again, when you look at a 2-star rating, for me, that's a neutral. You score 0 VORC points if you have 2 stars. It doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing, but it's like there's not a lot of upside for that player. And Sanders has that 2 stars because he's got the injury designation. But you got James White there. You got Matthew Stafford there. But reliability, look at this. I got all these high reliability players, one low reliability player. That's Darrell Williams, and that's fine. And then a bunch of mids. So very good. That's exactly what I like to see. For consistency ratings, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 10 players that score 5 or better. That's above average. So that is very good. These are players I can count on week after week that are not, that I know I can rely on. And the guys that don't score well, Darrell Williams, a backup. Backups never score well on consistency. Devin Singletary, 4 out of 10. That is a bit concerning. But again, he is my 4th running back, so he is a depth play. But overall, this is a very, very good team. I'm very happy with how this turned out. I love the value I got here. The value ranks are outstanding. And, like I said, I'm looking forward to bringing this team in with me to the regular season.